Hello, grade 4s. Good to see you again. I'm Mr. T. Let's do some maths. Oh, and normal remindings at the start of a lesson. The email, if you'd like to get hold of me, it's grade4@WorksheetCloud.com. You can always find that on the page where you are. And after the lesson, click on the link above, do the worksheet. Make sure that you've got this aspect of time that we're going to cover in this lesson. As per usual, the first few minutes of the lesson, or the first 40 seconds of a lesson, are spent doing some mental arithmetic, getting our brains into shape, not just for this, but just generally. There are 10 questions. They're very simple, the sort that you should almost know rather than have to work out. 40 seconds to answer them. You just have to put the answer, plus and minus today again. So let's make sure that your brains are up to speed. Your 40 seconds start now. And your 40 seconds stop now. So you mark them yourself. I can't see how you do. The main thing is to see that you're getting better. So if last time you got 4 and this time you got 5, that's an improvement. If you are somebody who's getting them right, all of them right every single time, then you aim to go quicker. But first accuracy and then speed. 11 minus 2 is 9. 6 minus 2 is 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 plus 14 is 21. 2 plus 13 is 15. 7 plus 6 is 13. 13 minus 10 is 3. 13 minus 9 is 4. 6 plus 11 is 17. 8 plus 9 is also 17. If you missed any of those, just rewind, watch the video again, and mark them. Hope you are improving in these. So today, another aspect of time, and that is looking at 24-hour time. And specifically today, we're going to look at how do we switch between 12 and 24-hour time like a pro. So by the end of this lesson, I hope that you'll be able to switch between the two nice and easy. So there are two versions of time, and you never know which you'll see. So sometimes you'll see 24-hour time, sometimes you'll see 12-hour time, and you need to be able to switch between the two. You need to understand what both of them are. And for that reason, we need to know them both. You can't just say, oh, well, I'll just hope that I get the one, not the other, because you never know which one. So let's go have a look at the whiteboard, and let's see. So I've drawn up a timeline, I suppose. And on the top I've got 24-hour time, and on the bottom I've got 12-hour time. But just before I do that, I want to discuss underneath a day. So let's think of the day as a circle, because time is like a cycle, it goes around and around. So we start over here with midnight, and then the day passes, and we get back to midnight again. So we've gone all the way around. So while I have drawn this as a line, what you need to understand is that when we go forward like this part here is actually back here again for the next day. All right, so that's an arrow, terrible arrow. All right, so this naught over here is also at the same time as this one. All right, so it's almost like I've stretched out. I've taken my circle, I've cut it, and I've rolled it flat so that I can label it like I have. So just remember that time is actually going round and round, and that the ends of my two lines are actually at the same point of time. So let's also just have a quick look at which parts of this are dark and which parts of this are light. So let's assume that the sun gets up at 6 a.m. So before 6 a.m., it's dark. And let's also assume that the sun at the moment is going down at 6. So that's when it gets to evening again and dark. Right, and in between it's sun up and light. But when we're looking at AM and PM, here is the middle of our line, the meridian, the middle, all right? And here we are post-meridian, post meaning after, or PM. That's not going to work, it's behind my head. PM, and before that, on this side, we are AM, which is anti, which means before. So before the middle and after the middle. So you can see that the AM and the PM don't line up necessarily with day and night. It's just before and after the middle. So if we think of 24, each day has 24 hours, and so 24-hour time logically counts from 0 all the way through to 23. When it reaches 24, it is actually back at 0. So that's why I've got the 24 in brackets over there, because it never gets to 24. If you ever have a midnight party and you watch your watch, if you look at your watch at midnight, and your watch is set to 24 time, it'll go 23, which is over here, 23, 23:59, 23:59, 59, and then it will be 0, 0, 0, 0 again, which is back here, and it'll start counting upwards from there. So next time, please don't tell your parents I'm encouraging you to have midnight parties. But if you do stay up to midnight and you see it, perhaps on New Year, you will notice that it does get back to 0, 0, 0, 0. It doesn't go 24. And underneath, we've got the morning. So 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., sun up, time to get up. 7 a.m., 8 a.m., normal time for school to start. 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., and in the middle, it becomes p.m., so 12 p.m. And I'm not 100% sure why this is 12 p.m., so we start with 12 in the afternoon and then go 1, but that is the way it is. So the first one is 12 a.m., so we start at 12 a.m., then we go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I suppose it's because the two ends of my line are linked, and perhaps that's why. So it's 11 and then 12 a.m. at the end here, underneath. And over here we've got 12 p.m. All right, and then we've got 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., and then it's back to 12 a.m., which is again at the start of the line. Okay, so if you had a line like this, then it's really easy to switch between the two. So say I had 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and I want to know what that was in 24-hour time. Well, here it is over here. So 2 p.m. in 24-hour time is 1400. All right, noticing that we don't put the p.m. or the a.m. there. If I was given 9 a.m. and I wanted to write that in 24-hour time, well, it's 9. So 9, 00. There is something important when we write 24-hour time. We need to write a number in the front, so there must always be 4 digits. I'm excluding seconds. So in fact, we say that it's 0900. So we write it like that. So 0900, and midnight is in 24-hour time is 0000. 1 o'clock is 0100. 2 o'clock 0200. 2:30 would be 02:30. The minutes work the same, whether you're using 24-hour time or 12-hour time. Okay, so it's really as simple as that, but you're not always going to have a line drawn, and it's a bit time consuming to have to draw a line every single time that you're switching between the two. So there must be a simpler way. Well, if you're in the afternoon, let's actually look at the morning first. So if you're in the morning section, then really it's just the same, and all we need to do is to make sure that we have 4 digits when we're doing 24-hour time. And otherwise it's the same. So 11 a.m. is simply 11:00. All right, just with no a.m. or p.m. there in 24-hour time. So this is 12-hour, and that's 24-hour. If we were looking at, say, 6:00, and make sure we have 4 digits in 24-hour time, and it would be 6:00 a.m. All right, so that's fairly straightforward going that way. Let's look at the afternoon. We can do the afternoon in purple. All right, so what about if it was 1 p.m.? Well, 1 p.m. is over here, so that's 1300 hours. Quite easy to see that. That's not really a problem. What about if it's, I think I've got space for one more. Let's say 12:45 p.m. So that's somewhere around about here on my timeline, 12:45 p.m. Well, actually, that's just 12:45, like that. So fairly straightforward when I'm doing this. Let's look at some afternoon times. So I'm going to just erase those quickly. Let me pause the video, erase, and put them in for you. All right, so I've picked some from the second half now. So I'm going to do it without looking at the number line. We've got the number line there, but I'm only going to refer it after it so I can show you that our working out getting the right answer. Okay, so 6 p.m. I know I'm in the second half of the day. So actually, I've already done the first 12 hours and then another 6 hours. And so what I'm going to then do is to add those extra 12 hours in. So 6 plus 12 is 18. And in 24-hour time, 6 p.m. is 1800. Looking at the next one, I've already had the first half of my day, so I'm going to add the 12 hours that came before the middle. 11 plus 12 is 23. And in 24-hour time, it's 2300. Again, if it's the afternoon or if it's after the middle, I'm going to add the 12. It's p.m. So you see I'm after there. p.m., going to add the 12. p.m., going to add the 12. So each time I'm adding 12. Right, so 7 plus 12 is 19. My minutes stay the same. 1930. 4 plus 12 is 16. Minutes stay the same. 8 plus 12 is 20. Minutes stay the same. So putting a 12-hour time into 24-hour time, if it's in the morning, all I need to do is to make sure I've got those 4 digits down. If it's in the afternoon, I've got to add the 12 hours that came from the morning. Simple as that. Let's go the other way around. So now what I'm looking at doing is going from the 24-hour time back into the 12-hour time. And I've deliberately picked ones that are all in the second half. So that's in the half in the afternoon. Right, so I'm in the second half. I've got 24, but I don't have 24 hours in my 12-hour clock. So I've got to minus the 12 from the first half of the day. So I'm going to minus the 12. So 22 minus 12 gives me 10. Minutes stay the same. It's in the second half of the day, so it's past the middle, p.m. 15 is after 12, so we're going to minus the 12. 15 minus 12 is 3. 3:45 p.m. This one is also past the middle, so we're going to minus the first half of the day. We end up with 1:25 p.m. This one, again, it's past the middle. We're going to minus 12. So this one, it's going to be 9:05 p.m. And this one, okay, this one is a little bit different, and we just got to watch out for the 12, because if it's only 12, we're not going to minus. So this one in 12-hour time is 12:55 p.m. Simple as that. Okay, I'm going to now do some 24-hour times, but 24-hour times from the morning. So here we've got some 24-hour times that come from the first half of the day, this half over here, and we need to put them into 12-hour time. All right, so noticing that I've got zeros on the front of some of them, because we need to make sure that for 24-hour time we always have 4 digits, because we're leaving out seconds. Right, so 6:25 a.m. we actually only drop the 0 on the front because we now have the AM or PM to guide us as to which half of the day it is. This one doesn't even have a 0 on the front, so it actually looks exactly the same, but this time we just need to make sure we're putting in the AM or PM. If you leave it out in my class, I'll just mark it wrong. Maybe your teacher will give you a half mark, I'm not sure, but as far as I'm concerned, you have to have an AM or PM if you're doing 12-hour time. This one, again, stays the same. And this one, like the 12 when we're going around the other way, is a little bit tricky. This is this time over here. And so it's 12:15 a.m. So it's really just those two that you need to look out for. It's the ones at the end, the middle and the end, that might be different. So remember in the previous set we had 12:55 and that was in 24-hour time, and because it was the middle, we didn't subtract the 12, and so we got 12:55 p.m. That was the example I was referring to. Okay, so that's doing conversions of time. It's fairly straightforward when it comes to this sort of thing. So I'm going to put up a few for you to practice. I've done groups separately. Now I'm going to do a mixed bag just to see if we can put all of our knowledge together. Right, I am going to give you a moment, which is 90 seconds, to convert these to 12-hour time. So all of those are in 24-hour time, and I would like you to convert them to 12-hour time. Your minute and a half, or a moment, starts now. You have had 1 minute. You have about 30 seconds left. Right, time is up. If you'd like more, you can actually just pause it. I only just made it a moment because I wanted to use the word moment, so I could tell you that a moment is 90 seconds. We often use the word a moment, say hang on a moment, meaning just a short while, but it is actually a unit of time. It is 90 seconds, and that originates from the sundials, which were divided in, an hour was divided into 40 pieces, and each of those pieces were 90 seconds, a minute and a half. And that is what a moment is. It comes from the sundials, and it's an actual measurement of time. Random fact for the day. Okay, converting these to 12-hour time. All right, so 6:06:15 is in the morning, so that is 6:15 a.m. If you leave off the a.m., you are incorrect. 10:45 is also in the morning, so it's 10:45 a.m. 2300 is in the evening. It's after the middle. So I'm going to minus 12, and I find out that that is 11 p.m. Also in the afternoon, after the middle, so I'm ending up with 4:10 p.m. This next one is the special case, where it stays the same. So it's 12:30 p.m. This one is also the special case, the other special case. So this one is 12:05 a.m., which is 5 past midnight. Next one, after the middle, so we're going to subtract 12 again. So I end up with 8:07 p.m. and this one is in the morning, so it's 4:12 a.m. Okay, pausing for a moment, and then we're going to go the other way around. So convert the following 8 into 24-hour time, so they're all in 12-hour time, as can be seen by the fact that they have AM and PM after them. Please will you write these in 24-hour time. Your moment starts now. "30 seconds left." Pause if you'd like more time. Let's go through them. So if it's in the afternoon, we need to add 12. So in fact, I can go right ahead and say that I'm going to add 12 to some of these. Remembering that these ones were that one was a special one, so I'm going to ignore that one, but that's the afternoon, afternoon, afternoon. So we're going to add 12 to each of those. So 1 plus 12 is 13. So 13:45, no AM or PM. If you put the AM or PM, you're going to be wrong. 6:05, so I write 6:05, and then I make sure that I've got 4 digits, which I do by putting a 0 in the front, 06:05. 6:05 PM, well, it's PM, so I must add 12, so it's 18:05. Right, so you can see the difference. AM and PM is these two over here. So important, those letters afterwards. All right, remembering that that's one of the special cases, that's just after midnight, so 00:15, just the first 15 minutes into the new day. The next one is also one of the special ones, so the 12s are the special ones. This one will stay as 12:45, and that's the answer. In the afternoon, we've got to add 12 hours, so this becomes 1600. 16, yeah, that's 4 o'clock. So in fact, what happens is that if someone asks me the time and I see 1600, I don't say 1600, I just say 4 o'clock. So I read this as 4 o'clock. I read this as 5 minutes past 6. I read this as 1:45. So although you can, and some people do say it in 24-hour time, so they actually read it as 1600 or 16:05, which is the military way of doing it, which you might have heard on movies. I actually just convert it in my head and then say it like I would if it was in the other time. So 1600 I just read as 4 o'clock or 4 p.m. Depending on the context. If somebody's asking me, when are we meeting on Tuesday? And I wanted to say like 7, maybe 7 is in the morning or the evening, then I would say, so let me actually write down what I'm saying. If the answer was, 7 is 1900. So if I knew that the time was 1900 and I was telling somebody over the phone, what time are we meeting? I would say 7 p.m. when I read this time. But if it was an obvious time, like if depending on the conversation, then I would just say 7 o'clock. Okay, so we were just finishing off the last two. So 9:15 p.m. We've got to add 12 to that, so it becomes 21:15. And this one we add 12, so it becomes 22.55. That's it for time. That's 24-hour time and 12-hour time. I hope that makes sense to you now. I hope that you'll be able to go from the one to the other and back again. That's all we're going to cover today. Thank you for joining me today, grade 4s. It is always good fun to have you with. Remember, you can email me grade4@worksheetcloud.com and click on that link above. Do the worksheet today just to make sure that you have understood and that you are able to do it, because it's all very good to watch it, and watching it you might think, that all makes sense, I've definitely got this, but if you don't practice it, it might just disappear from your mind. So it's very easy to say, yes, I've got this, when you're watching somebody doing it, like I know how to do it, so it looks easy, but it's best if you practice it, just so that it sticks in your head. That's why we practice maths over and over again. Grade 4s, good to have you with us. Lovely. See you again soon. Have an awesome day.